Gonna let the airbags fill up. So. I'm ready to get a load and get out there on the road, do something, make some dang money. It's been too long. Still got a little congestion, sore throat for the most part's gone. That was just all the other stuff going on. Doctor says we're allowed to go on the road, so still looks like the load board ain't crap on the load board yet. So we just want to take this thing out for a drive, make sure it runs right. We've got a couple gallons here of 50/50 coolant here that if I need to add more to the system, I can. My buddy Jason told me a couple different times I need to burp the system, and that's why we was having issues in that one video, and totally forgot, and it makes sense. But something the mechanic could have done. So, yeah. Cinnamon's asking if I want her to lock the door, and I'm trying to tell her yeah. So. Is there any energy drinks in there? Is it still cold?
Yep.
Okay. Want me to dump those out and throw them in the burn barrel?
I'm going to go ahead and start bringing this stuff on. Derek and I are going to go for a little test drive just to make sure everything's good. We put ourselves back in service, so we're looking at loads to see if we can get something lined up for next week. But we also don't want to be surprised, kind of like this time. When we had checked everything was fine, and then just all of a sudden it just went to crap. So I don't know, maybe it was a bump in one of the Michigan roads.
Pop open the hood and see what our coolant level is. The engine isn't real hot at all. nowhere near where I want it to be. It's just a short drive from home to here. We might get on the interstate, so that way we get it up to 70 miles per hour and drive a long period of time, so that way we get the engine to more normal temps. But we're doing 55 the way here, so that probably don't help at all. Looks like it's up there. That's a pretty good spot, but it'd be nice to get it warmer. Go down the interstate, see what happens. Hopefully it stays together. So when we took the truck to Freightliner before, because we could see some kind of oily substance on the exhaust, and they said they couldn't see anything, but they said something about they did notice there's some drips coming from one of the coolant lines or whatever. And I think when they did whatever they did with the coolant line, I think they might have accidentally ripped it, or it was just old, and that's why they seen that it was dripping, is because it was probably slowly tearing, and they didn't fix it. It just happened to tear even more once we got up in Michigan. So that's how I feel about it, because everything happened pretty close together, and that makes sense to me. I mean, it's a old hose, so. All right, what are you doing, Cindy?
We're gonna have to go back on the road soon, so I'm trying to restock some stuff. I ordered a bunch of chips for Darrick, so that's restocked. Restocking the dry cat food, which I'm gonna have to make a run. Oh, I have it back up in here. Dang it. Ah, that one was off. Okay. No, I already stripped off all the bedding. I have to wash that because when I was sick and Darrick was starting to feel stuff, whenever you don't get a lot of sleep, it doesn't help your immune system and all that stuff. So he needed to get some kind of sleep, and I was like up coughing all night, so he slept in here. He slept in here one night, but I was also in here when we got towed. The day we got towed back is when I wasn't feeling good, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of germs in here. So I need to do a deep clean. I took down the curtains because they're cloth, so I'm going to wash that. I'm going to gather all this, wash all the bedding. I have our uniforms and stuff, which we keep underneath the bedding, in the cracks, so that we can't get cat fur on it. But we only wore it, I wore it the morning of or something. I've worn it once, but I want to clean everything that's cloth in here to try and get rid of as many germs as possible. So I'm going to wipe down everything. I use Norwex. They're rags that have embedded silver in it, so it kills any germs that are in it. In the rags, when you wipe it off, it just uses hot water to activate the silver ions. So I'm going to use that to, when I do my deep clean and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bedding started. And Darrick...
We had strep throat, by the way.
Yeah. They swabbed me and said it was negative, which I've heard so many people comment on Facebook about how it always says it's negative, but then it comes back and it's positive. But I went on Thursday, and then like 5 days later, Darrick went, and they swabbed him. They said it was strep throat, and what I had was probably strep throat, which I was a little...
Well, he didn't say probably. I asked my doctor, I said, since I'm positive, does that mean Cinnamon's most likely positive too? He said yes.
Yeah. And so I'm a little annoyed that they didn't call me back to say that the test results did say positive. You know, they kind of let it go, but I think it's because the medication that they gave me, the antibiotics, is the same thing they would have given me if I did have strep throat. So it's the same thing.
Cinnamon's allergic to
amoxicillin, which is the main thing that they give you for strep throat. And so they had to give me a different antibiotic, which was a 5-day instead of a 10-day.
Whatever, right?
Whatever.
Cinnamon just wants to be told that she did have strep.
Yeah,
and that they're sorry.
I just think it's irresponsible, because what if you wouldn't have
Baby,
gone?
come back. Please.
Okay, I'll let it go. It's not a big deal. But I'm just a little annoyed right now because it's beautiful weather outside and there's so many things I want to do. But I'm still in the phase right now where I need to still rest enough to let my body's still recouping and everything. So just doing little things that I can do right now. Nothing that's too taxing, but it's stuff that's going to need to be done. So getting all this. By the way, I always... I fixed the magnet that we had for Texas because the little thing was coming off, so I re-glued that. So Norton loves to knock this one off, and my Arizona one. Where is my Arizona one?
Knocked off?
Yep. He likes to knock it off. And like even if I put it all the way up here, he like jumps up and knocks it off. I don't know why.
Norton's the darker cat.
Yeah.
Like a lot of brown swirls.
The brown and black, yeah. Caleb's the one that has like the socks.
The
it
white,
looks like on
the gray, yeah.
But I got this bag because I always, anytime I go out of the truck or come into the truck, I'm always bringing stuff in or taking stuff out. Like, and we've done this, it'll be 4 years in end of July. And we're still tweaking what goes in here and what goes out. So it's a constant thing. So I just brought in a couple of things, some more water. We're going to have to do something about our water situation because we filled up a bunch of the water jugs over there that we had for when we were running and everything was leaking out. So we had to keep, having fluids for the truck to keep running to get to a safe spot.
And that water wasn't really dependable. I filled it up to where at the rest area where the janitors fill up the mop bucket, so the nozzle was hanging where they dump the mop bucket. So this isn't clean water.
Yeah, so we can't use those jugs near anything that we drink, and that's what we use the water for, is drinking and our coffee and doing dishes and stuff if it's too cold outside and we don't want to fill the water tanks for them to like expand and freeze and all that crap. I've been hanging out with you too much because I keep saying crap. Darrick calls everything crap.
Yeah.